know, that was one thing.
And I made it confusing.
What?
I was like,
Break down. It's cute.
just didn't realize like.
That. But. I was like. Break down. It's cute.
Morning. Thank you for being here today. This is the November informal hearing of the Tennessee Post Commission. The process for today's hearing will go as follows. The agency will present first. The commission may then ask questions of the agency. Following the agency's presentation, the individual respondent will have the opportunity to present. The commission may then ask questions of the respondent. After the individual has presented, the agency, if they so choose, has an opportunity to provide a rebuttal, and the respondent may also then provide a rebuttal after the agency. The commission will then discuss and vote on the matter. Please note that this is an informal hearing. There's no introduction of evidence, witness testimony, or cross-examinations during this hearing. Commission members reserve the right to ask questions, and if there will be a review of any items presented during the hearing. All those commissioners have previously agreed to recuse themselves from any vote that would constitute a conflict of interest. The most obvious of these would include issues that involve our own departments or some we know personally. Because we have already agreed to this, it should be noted that on routine matters, it will be assumed non-verbally that these commissioners have abstained from that vote. In bigger, more controversial issues that may have a more overt conflict of interest, it may have an appearance of impropriety, these applicable commissioners will still verbally abstain from those votes. So let's go ahead and establish the primary voting members for today. We've got Commissioner Wilbur, Commissioner Wright, who are our primary members on the informal subcommittee. And we have Commissioner Green, who's an alternate. So we would go ahead and have those three as the voting members for the informal hearing today.
I want to pick somebody else. I want to have to recuse myself on at least two.
Any volunteers? Commissioner Jeffers, thank you, sir. We appreciate it. Yes. So we'll have Commissioner Jeffers, Commissioner Wright, and Commissioner Wilbur as our primary voting members. All commissioners can participate in the hearing and can step in to vote as an alternate in the event that there's another issue of conflict. We'll now begin with the roll call. If I call your name and you're here, just please acknowledge. Robert Fox.
He's present.
Thank you, Counselor. William Evans.
Present.
Thank you, sir. John Pickens.
Present.
Thank you, sir. Tyler Wheeler.
Sir.
Thank you, sir. Sean Hooper.
Present.
Thank you, sir. And Hayden Bilbrey.
Present.
Thank you. All right. Let's start with the matter of Robert Fox. Blaine Police Department. Mr. Fox was submitted for decertification based on his termination. We have a member of the Blaine Police Department here today. Thank you, sir. For you to just come to the lectern and identify yourself for the record.
This only one I have, I'll have to recuse myself on this because I know Mr. Fox. Former Louis County Sheriff Department. So.
Okay. Thanks, sir. Mr. Green, you can step in. Okay, thank you. Go ahead, sir.
I'm Richard Collins with the Blaine Police Department. I'm the Chief of Police. In this matter with Mr. Fox, he was relieved of his duties on 6/1 at the Blaine Police Department. There was some confusion on whether he should be put up for decertification. So the reason I'm here today is I'm not looking to have him decertified. He's not eligible for rehire at the Blaine Police Department, but I am not looking to have him decertified. I was told I need to come explain that to you guys.
And so the agency is requesting to rescind their request of decertification. Any questions for the agency?
This is Commissioner Green. Would you have any issues with him being employed by another agency based on his termination from your agency?
Um,
I take that as a yes. Thank you.
Commissioner Wilbur, did his separation issue involve dishonesty?
there was just violations as far as policy went. The last thing was involving non-use of body cam, not doing a report on a counterfeit money, and that was the last thing that came to light. That was on 5/30. But I would not call that dishonest.
Any other discussion?
Commissioner Wright, you said that was the last thing, kind of the last thing. So was it more or less a totality of some things that happened over a period of time that it led up to a separation versus just one incident of?
No, there was some other issues on some body cam issues and under report taking. I'm looking back here at the other issue was on 5-2. No body cam used on it. He was involved in an altercation, physical altercation with the guy that he was taken into custody. There was also 3 accidents in probably a year and a half involving driving.
Commissioner Wilbur, how long did he work for your department?
He was employed on 9/19/23 and relieved of his duties on 6/1/25.
Commissioner Lane, incident involving use of force, was there ever any complaint or allegation of excessive force?
No,
Any injuries to anyone?
no.
Commissioner Wright, so I guess just make sure I'm understanding it correctly. Y'all were on the fence about putting him up for decertification, but it got submitted and then more talks kind of happened, thought, well, y'all got rid of him for totality of a few things that happened, but I think he should still keep his post certification because in case he did want to seek employment somewhere else, but then like Mr. Green asked, would you recommend him in like silence? So
Yeah, he would, I mean, if I was contacted, and he would definitely not be eligible for rehire at our department. Would be my response. And I would not recommend him for a position at another agency.
Commissioner Parton, what all agencies does this gentleman work for? What's his employment history? If he's here today, I guess we can ask him.
Yeah, I think I know him, but I would rather you ask him.
Any other questions or discussion? Does the agency wish to speak with Mr. Fox? Okay, thank you, Chief. Morning, Counselor. If you and your client would just give us your names to the record, please.
Morning, Commissioners. Attorney Jack Bird appearing for Mr. Fox, who is here with me. As you can see, he's got some physical issues right now he's trying to overcome. I'd like to address the incidents that the chief relayed to you. One of those was in January of this year. That was an auto accident that they deemed he was at fault. That incident is the only one where Officer Fox was advised of it, given a disciplinary report that he signed. The second one was on 4/19, and that was on a report that was late. when we received his employment record, that doesn't have a disciplinary report on it. It's just a paragraph typed up that was put in his record. He was surprised to find out that that was even there. The next one was 5-2, which was a use of force report. That was 5 days late, and he didn't use any body cam on that issue. Then the one that finally terminated him was a response to a scene where a counterfeit bill was supposedly presented. He acquired that document. That was on 5:30 at 2000 at night. The next day, they called him in and terminated him. So he did get the report in that night. I would submit to the commission that this is disciplinary issues that can be resolved with an officer through progressive discipline. It's not an issue where his post certification should be revoked. In addition, he obviously has some health issues that he's trying to overcome at this point. He is coming up on the 6-month timeline where he would have to have completed his annual training. He will not have that done at this point. If he is able to find employment in law enforcement, and if he is able to overcome these physical issues, he would have to come back before the commission with a full packet with an employer and ask for everything to be put back in order. Graduated from Toledo in 2008. He's been in law enforcement for many years. We're asking for you not to pull his certification. Allow him to progress forward. If he overcomes his physical issues, he's still going to have to come before the commission. He's still going to have to present a full packet. So we would ask that you take no action at this time. The commission is inclined to revoke his certification. We would ask that we enter into a voluntary suspension and then allow him to do that if he is able to meet those goals. Thank you.
So Commissioner Green, Mr. Fox.
Yes, sir.
Are you wishing to remain in law enforcement?
If I get over these, I need to get into some specialists. I don't have insurance at the moment right now. So.
Has any agency approached you? You approached any?
No, I'm
agency
not
about
approached.
continuing?
No, not telling it that I can't do it right now. It's like I kind of crashed about a week. Like a switch went off about a week after I left Wayne. Real bad. So I need to get into a specialist. So I'm hoping down the road I can get things, my health in line. So I don't, so I, ask all of y'all about, not suspending, what's the decertification.
What other agencies have you worked for?
I've worked for Follett, Jellicoe, and Scott County Sheriff's Department for many years.
How'd you end up in Blaine?
I initially put in Blaine after I left Jellicoe. I was working for Fort Sanders Hospital, their security there. This is a between job, and I put in and the former chief, Tim Wyrick, I called him, but something happened. I didn't get his phone, so he'd hired somebody else, but then another position came up, and then he called me again, asked me if I wanted to come work with him. I came to work with him.
That's all I have.
Mr. Wilbur, I have a question for legal. If we take no action today, you would still have to come back before the commission.
So anytime somebody's not working for 6 months, they have to go back for pre-employment, which would include a full exam, several new professionals. So at that time, if a waiver were necessary, if there was a problem, retire, post to the rules side, then you would end up on a Friday. Did that. But there would be no disciplinary barriers to re-entry.
Thank you.
Mr. Wright, I'll make a motion for no action.
Commissioner Green, I'll second.
We have a motion and a second for no action. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
At this time, we're going to take about a 10-minute recess. We've got some matters that we've got to address. So we can just pause the video real quick, and we'll start back up as soon as we get this matter cleared up. Thank you.
Like hard at.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. No, you're fine. You're fine. Absolutely. All right, now that we've gotten that straightened out, if it would be okay with the commission, we're going to go ahead and move to the John Pickens matter with the Knoxville Police Department. And go ahead and start with that one, if that's okay with the commission. All right, so we have the Knoxville Police Department in the matter of John David Pickens. Mr. Pickens was submitted for decertification based on his termination. If we have a representative of the Knoxville Police Department, if you would just identify yourself for the record, sir.
Good morning, Commissioner. I'm Will Wilson. I'm a lieutenant with the Knoxville Police Department, with the Office of Professional Standards. I've been with the OPS for just shy of 2 years now. I want to thank y'all for being here today. Thank you for the opportunity to address you. If you don't mind, I just want to go real quickly over kind of what our process is. I wasn't an investigator on either one of the cases I'm presenting today, but I do supervise the unit, supervise the detective. So I was actively involved in the advisement and approval process of the case files that were submitted. And so the Knoxville Police, our OPS, we investigate any matters brought to us based on the authorization from the chief of police. We generally have a 60-day deadline, short of written extensions. If there is something that becomes a criminal matter, we put that on pause and it sits until that's adjudicated. Once the case is complete, it goes through our professional standards chain of command, which includes a deputy chief over our professional standards, who happens to be a retired federal magistrate judge. We're fortunate to have Chief Guyton. It goes through the City of Knoxville Law Department for review, and then it's submitted to the chief and the chain of command for acceptance of any findings. Once that process is done, a disciplinary hearing is set, and that is attended by the officer involved, as well as their legal representation and other folks, including folks from our park commission. So this case here that we're talking about was with John Pickens. It is fairly old. It stems from 2022, and the discipline was not rendered until 2024. And I have a basically prepared statement that our legal department has reviewed and asked me to read. And I'll do my best to answer any questions to the commission afterwards. So on August 14 of 2022, deputies with the Knox County Sheriff's Office responded to 7504 Stout Lane in Knox County, Tennessee, regarding a domestic disturbance between John Pickens and his wife, Paige Pickens. John was actively employed as a Knoxville police officer at the time. KCSO detective spoke with Paige Pickens on August 15th of 22. And on that same day, Officer Pickens became the subject of an order of protection in the Fourth Circuit Court of Knox County, Tennessee. The petition, which alleged that Officer Pickens allegedly assaulted his wife on several occasions. The order of protection was dismissed on December 21st of 2023, subject to certain conditions. Officer Pickens was placed on administrative leave at the time of the issuance of the order of protection, and his police powers were suspended pending the outcome of that matter. Then Detective Phyllis Tompkins was the OPS investigator assigned at my office. So on September 9th of 2024, Detective Tonkin conducted an interview with Miss Pickens, who is listed as the victim in the aforementioned matter. Miss Pickens recounted a domestic incident that occurred on July 31, 22 into the early hours of August 1, 2022. Miss Pickens said she accused Pickens of an affair which prompted the physical altercation. Ms. Pickens said she attempted to leave her residence, but Officer Pickens stopped her and said, "You aren't leaving." Ms. Pickens said she then pushed Officer Pickens in an attempt to get him away from the door. He threw her to the ground and she bruised her back. She said that Officer Pickens grabbed her by the neck with his hand, caused her to feel dizzy and lightheaded. Ms. Pickens said in this interview, his grip released as she felt her body going limp. Following the incident, she noted red marks on her neck. Detective Tonkin conducted an interview with John Pickens on October 7, 2024. Pickens stated he recalled the events in question. Pickens said Ms. Pickens slapped him, and she fell when he pushed her off of him, landing on her right hip. There was code of conduct violations that led to a disciplinary hearing being scheduled, and those facts were presented to the chief of police, Chief Paul Noel, for his review and acceptance. And on June 23rd of 2025, Chief Noel held a disciplinary hearing with Pickens and his legal counsel. And this hearing resulted in the termination of Pickens' employment from the police department. That's not like I suppose. Sorry.
Commissioner Wilbur, did he inform your department of this domestic dispute, or did y'all discover it later after the fact?
In our investigative file, in his interview, he notified his supervisors at the time that night of the incident.
And did his wife have to seek medical attention? Do you know?
No, not that I'm aware of.
Commissioner Wilbur again, are there any criminal charges pending against Officer Pickens?
I cannot confirm or deny anything regarding criminal charge.
Do you know whether the DA's office is investigating or has an open file?
Again, because of judicial rulings, I cannot confirm or deny.
Gotcha.
What do you mean you can't confirm or deny? You got your department's up here to decertify the guy. What is there an investigation or not an investigation? Are you his legal counsel, or are you just saying because you don't know?
No, so I know.
You know.
I know, but I cannot say because of judicial orders.
You know you cannot say because of what? Judicial orders?
Yes.
What judicial orders? Orders from a judge?
Yes, sir.
Of Knox County?
Yes.
That you can't speak about this case?
I cannot speak about any criminal matters, potential criminal matters regarding this case.
There was a court
It's
order.
2 years. It is still 2 years.
Copy of that
3 years.
order.
Has the case been expunged? Is that the problem?
I would answer that as affirmative. Yes.
This case has been expunged,
Yes. Sir.
that we're here for today?
Yes.
Okay. We got a copy of that expungement? I'm sure.
Commissioner Jefferson, what was the reasoning for the length of time from the time of the incident to the time of termination? What was the reasoning for taking so long?
Our typical policy, if there's a criminal matter open, is we pause our internal affairs investigation till the conclusion of that.
Okay, so again, was he arrested for the domestic violence?
Again, sir, that's
I'm
part of.
confused here. I'm lost as hope as ghost out here. I don't know I got it late this morning. So City of Knoxville is submitted for decertification for an officer that committed a domestic violence. Is that right?
There was a preponderance from our investigation internally that there was policy violations of conformance and unbecoming conduct.
Okay, is this officer still an employee of your department? He's been terminated.
Yes, sir.
That's public information, right?
Correct, sir.
Okay, so with that public information, he knows what he was terminated for, right?
Yes, sir.
And he's here today.
Yes, sir, he is.
Okay. But you're telling us that there's a court order that you can't talk about from a judge in Knoxville, Tennessee, that you can't talk about that. Have you got a copy of that order?
No, sir, I don't have it with me. I mean, in fact, I know.
But you just gave confirmation that there's an expungement.
Yes, sir.
All right, so to get an expungement, you would have to formally be criminally charged. Correct? Correct?
That would typically be, yes, sir. In general terms, I would say that's correct, yes.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah.
So, and now he's got an expungement because it's over with, right? So in our case, if there's an expungement, it's like it never happened.
Yes, sir.
So if he was to apply for another job somewhere in state of Tennessee, whether it's a law enforcement officer or to go be doing underwater basket weaving, he has no criminal history. Correct? I'm trying to get somebody here to, correct? So what else are we here to talk about?
He was terminated based on the policy violations that we had.
I understand. But we've also got, you're saying he was arrested and got an expungement. I mean.
So I was asked if there was an expungement and I generally confirmed that there had been.
I'm still lost about what kind of gag order you got under that we can't talk about.
Commissioner Wright. This incident happened in 22. He reported it to a supervisor. Did he keep doing his same official law enforcement duties with Knox County Police Department during that entire course of investigation for 2 years?
No, sir.
3 years.
And on that date of there was an order of protection that was placed. August 15th. He was placed on administrative leave and given administrative duties from that time and until his termination in 2025. So, and his police powers were removed at that time.
You got your legal counsel for the city with you today?
No, sir. They're not here.
This is Commissioner Green.
Yes, sir.
So he was involved in a domestic issue of which started an internal investigation, put him on administrative leave, relieving him of his law enforcement duties.
Yes, sir.
And during that time, until the criminal investigation was over, he stayed on those administrative duties.
Yes, sir.
Once the criminal case was concluded, no matter what the cop behind him was, then the internal investigation looked at disciplinary issues within policy. He was terminated based on the policy issues.
Yes, sir.
Nothing to do with the criminal thing, just on the policy issues.
At this point, correct, sir.
Kind of help.
Did I understand correct? I've heard the word expungement. To get an expungement, you had to been arrested or charged in a court of law, correct?
On a criminal case.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't matter about administrative case, safety of the discussion. So administrative was violations of policy.
I would assume that the department would have been more concerned about the man being arrested than violating some policy. I mean, that's kind of what stowed me off here with the submittal of a decertification. I figured, law enforcement officer, mug shot at Knox County Jail downtown.
So Commissioner Jefferson, so the one question I guess I have remaining here to you is when I'm reading the report, and he says this action is taken against you for violation of rules. And then when I get down to the narrative, it said, whoever it is was redacted, failed to contact law enforcement to document the domestic incident and to report other criminal activity or legally prohibited from possessing or carrying a firearm for a period of time due to a pending order of protection in terms of your conditional lease. He did wind up reporting the incident to his supervisor, correct? I mean,
yes,
not now.
Yeah.
And then the order of protection that was wound up given to him was later dismissed.
Yes,
right.
Yeah, later in 23.
And that was the reasoning for his termination, but according to what you're saying, according to what this is saying, he did what he was supposed to do, but was still terminated for violation of that. I mean, is there other things I'm missing or?
So within the internal investigation at the time, there was preponderance that he had violated statute of assault. That
Thanks,
would
sir.
have been a conformance with laws.
Thanks, sir.
Commissioner Wilbur, I'm gonna follow up on Commissioner Green's question from the last one. Would you recommend Mr. Pickens to be a police officer with another department?
That's from the OPS standpoint, that would be out of my purview. Discussions I've had, he was terminated and would not be eligible to reapply to the Knoxville Police Department.
To be clear, Mr. Jeffers, you're back on the hot seat. I have to recuse myself on this one.
Okay. No problem. Is Officer Pickens here, or former Officer Pickens here?
He's here. Yes.
I'd like to speak with him for now.
Thank you, Mr. Pickens.
Thank you.
If you would just identify yourself for the record, please.
My name's John Pickens.
Thanks.
Thank you.
So, Mr. Pickens, Mr. Jefferson, so since you're not under any kind of legal gag order, I'm assuming, so you can kind of give us your side of the story and see so we can understand what happened on your end, and then we can find everything in the middle, so.
With that, can I respond with this with no disrespect to the commission?
Sure, go ahead.
I am in no position to violate my rights under what happened. I do not wish to do so in front of this commission. What is gone is gone, and I will leave it at that. I will direct the commission to look at this very commission's appellate court case, Wright versus Tennessee Post Commission. And that should be done with. As far as the order of protection, that order of protection was willfully dismissed by the petitioner prior to all this concluding. The 2 years time frame that I spent answering phones in teleserve. I do believe on your all's end where it shows what everything that the internal affairs file stated. On there, one of those was I'm trying to word it right, unsatisfactory performance. For 2 years, I worked inside of a building inside the teleserve unit. And up to a month prior to being relieved of duty, the month prior to that, I was actually nominated for Officer of the Month, sitting behind a desk answering telephones. I did my job every single day I went into work. I answered the phone as Officer Pickens with the Knoxville Police Department. I stand before you today still an officer, and I would like to have that opportunity to continue doing that. As far as what happened, any one of you guys want to meet in a parking lot somewhere, I'll tell you exactly what happened. But on public record, I do not wish to violate statutes or my rights. I'm sorry for not answering that the way you wanted it to, sir.
Oh, no, that's perfect.
Mr. Wilbur, I see you at the wedding ring. Are you still married?
I am actually engaged. No, we have divorced and separated through that whole process. And actually, my lovely fiance is sitting back here in the corner. Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Green, how long did you work for the Knoxville Police Department?
19 years, sir.
Any other disciplinary actions?
I got one write-up, probably about 5 or 6 years on, and I had 1 3-day suspension over a unwritten policy.
Commissioner Ryan, just for discussion, which I've been ready to make a motion for former species out up here.
Yes, sir.
Just the fact Knox County, the report says one thing and he come up here and tells us something totally different, but this says that he did not report it to. And he says that he did. You being Yes, sir. Knoxville representative. I make a motion for no action.
Commissioner Jefferson.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say
I'd like to ask, what's your plans in the future?
Currently, I'm under the civil service appeals with the city of Knoxville. I would like to continue my career and finish my career the way I wanted to, not the way they decided for me to, sir.
At the city of Knoxville?
Yes, sir. If that's unavailable, I wish to move
You
forward.
would go back to work
Yes, sir.
after all this with the city of Knoxville?
The city of Knoxville is a city. It doesn't mean the people who run the department in that city. I work for that city. I don't work for them.
I'll tell you, it's happened before.
Multiple times, sir.
Sorry.
No, you're good. So we have a motion and a second. That all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you all. You all have a wonderful day. Enjoy Gatlinburg.
Being that the city of Knoxville is here, we've got another matter with them. Let's go ahead and move on and take the matter of Tyler Wheeler. So we have Representative Knoxville PD come back up. This matter of Tyler Wheeler, he was submitted for decertification based on his resignation during internal investigation.
I guess for the record, I'll reintroduce myself.
Yes, sir.
I'm Lieutenant Will Wilson, Knoxville Police Department, Office of Professional Standards. Sorry, I had to endure the previous one.
Speak up just a little bit, I'm sorry.
Yes, I apologize. Character flaw right there. So regarding the matter with Officer Wheeler, on June 7th of 2025, at about 10:11 p.m., Officer Wheeler, while on duty in full police uniform, entered the Hip Hop gas station located at 7001 Kingston Pike in Knoxville, Tennessee. Surveillance video revealed that Officer Wheeler walked behind the counter, concealed several packages of Kratom, which is a supplement, in his KPD baseball hat. He then placed them in his pocket. He did not pay for those items. During an interview conducted by the Knoxville Police Department's Property Crimes Unit, Wheeler admitted to stealing those items, and he apologized for his actions. He was subsequently relieved of duty, and his police powers were suspended. On June 10, 2025, Officer Wheeler was issued a misdemeanor citation for theft by shoplifting. Subsequently, on August 22nd of 2025, a pre-disciplinary hearing was convened with Chief Paul Noel. Prior to the start of that hearing, Officer Wheeler tendered his resignation. So he did resign under investigation of this matter.
Commissioner Wilbur, I have a question for legal. He was issued a misdemeanor citation for theft, which is a crime of dishonesty. Would that be something the DA's office would have to turn over as legal material? Do you know? For a misdemeanor citation?
I don't know the how Gabriel would apply to that situation, but as far as hosts, we're not allowed to consider it. The host rules is what we do. So,
Gotcha.
so failure to make different employment requirements would have the theft under there, and then also the resignation under investigation.
Thank you.
Commissioner Wright. Sir, if he had not have resigned, would the department's stance been termination?
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Jefferson, do you know the current status of that criminal charge?
Knox County Court, on the 11th was the last time that we checked, there was a disposition date on September 23rd, 25, and it's showing diversion is pending. The defendant was sentenced to 11 months, 29 days judicial diversion, and the good conditions imposed are good behavior and stay away from that gas station.
This Commissioner Green, it's got quite a bit of local media.
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Wilbur, is he still under the judicial diversion?
According to this, yes, so that was just September 23rd, and we're waiting 11/29. That's completed.
Thank you.
Any other questions for the agency? Think so.
Thank you. Thank you all. Appreciate it.
Tyler Wheeler. Gentlemen, just approach the lectern and identify yourself for the record, please.
Good morning. My name is Joe Smith. I'm counsel for Mr. Wheeler. I'm Tyler Wheeler.
Mr. Smith, your client has not had a conviction in his matter, so he would fall into the category of pending litigation. What that means for post is that he does not have to waive the Fifth Amendment right talk today if he doesn't want to. His option, if that was his choice, would be to enter into a suspension, which is an indefinite suspension lasting the term of however long his diversion would have left on it. And then if that means he's chief could reappear to seek to return this informal matter at that time. You're welcome to take all what you have.
That is exactly what we would prefer to do. And he is on track to have this dismissed and expunged next September. So I think it would be best to approach it then.
It's certainly up to the commission, but if that's the direction that the commission chooses to vote, then you can speak to me about my contact information.
Would the commission prefer to go ahead and vote on that resolution at this point, or would you go ahead and speak?
What you want to speak today?
I would prefer not to. Yes.
I like you better do what they told you to do. He's on there.
Well, at that point, then I would request that we allow this to be considered pending and revisited when we've had a chance to have it.
So the commission would continue with his 1 month, and if he turns in his signed paperwork, then he would not be.
Okay.
I'll make that motion.
We have a motion to accept the proposed pending the green order suspension. Is there a second?
Wilbur, thank you.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So we will set this matter for December. In the event we get the signed agreed order, then we'll just remove that matter from the agenda. Keep it.
The investigator agreed with my contact information.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. We will take another 5-minute pause for the cause to swap quarters and reconvene shortly. Thank you so much. keep this moving right along. All right, we are back on the record, and we will go back to the matter of Hancock County and William Evans. William Evans was submitted for decertification based on his resignation during the internal investigation. We are not going to have a representative of the Hancock County Sheriff's Office here today. I spoke with Sheriff Brewer, and he expressed to me that he did not wish to move forward with the request for decertification. I explained to him that those matters are usually conducted in person, or that he should submit a letter or something in writing. Obviously, he is not here and he did not submit something in writing. And he expressed to me that the Post Commission could move that forward or dismiss it on their own accord. So I will leave that up to the commission to discuss and see what they want to do with this.
Is the response?
William Evans. Mr. Evans is here today.
Can you give us a cliff note version of what Mr. Evans did?
Certainly can. What was submitted to Post was a reporting of violations, standard of conduct, code of ethics, police action off duty, prohibited actions, being intoxicated in public when off duty, neglect in duty, conducting himself in a manner unbecoming, incapable or inefficient in service, or the policy violations that they submitted to Post.
Commissioner Wilbur, do we know a status and a cadence? Did he resign in lieu of termination?
He resigned during an internal investigation. Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Jefferson, I'd like to speak with Mr. Evans.
Mr. Evans, if you would please approach the lectern and just identify yourself for the record, please.
My name's William Evans.
Mr. Evans, can you kind of give just kind of a brief why you're here today and why the sheriff of Hancock County at the time felt he needed to try to decertify you? Can you just kind of explain why you're here?
Certainly. It was an incident that occurred August 23rd of this year. A friend of mine asked me if I would ride to town with him in the vehicle, rode to town. We had been drinking. I was not intoxicated. Still functioning, no things on. I did not drive, rode there with him. He pulled into a parking lot, got out, been there for some time, got into an altercation, but I was not aware of it until we had left. We've got an entire list of things here. I'm trying to touch each of them. As far as the resigning during an investigation, that was not factual. The sheriff did come pick up my patrol vehicle, my badge, my gun, the night of that. I believe it was September the 11th or the 12th. Met with the sheriff after he had met with the district attorney. The incident that occurred did result in my friend being charged with some criminal charges. So they had a criminal investigation go through. I was cleared during that. Sheriff relayed that message to him. And that's when we talked, and I told him that I just felt like it would be tough for me to come back and serve the community because it had actually been on the news. It's been a big blow. So that was the decision we came to together. And I think it was on the following week, I got a phone call from investigator Crib about the decertification Post. During that conversation, he told me that he had some trouble tracking me down, that the telephone number that was provided to him, the phone number to the Bean Station Police Department. as well as the email address that was provided to him. It's not my email address. I have no idea whose it was. So I contacted the sheriff. I said, hey, you know, we spoke a few days ago. You know, you wish me well, told me you hoped I could get back in law enforcement at some point if I chose to. I said, today I get this phone call. He kind of looks into the matter inside the department, finds out that he had an employee that had wrote this letter, submitted the letter without his knowledge. As time has went on, we found out that this gentleman is now seeking election. He's campaigning for sheriff in Hancock County. And has continued to slander me all over social media numerous times each day.
So there's never any criminal charges against you for that. And as far as the sheriff is concerned on that end, you weren't, basically, you didn't resign in lieu of termination, and he basically didn't terminate you, you just walked away.
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Green, are you working now?
Not in law enforcement.
Commissioner Wright, you said that when you and the sheriff spoke about it, that kind of both thought that it was, I guess, kind of good to step away from it. Do you have intentions of going back into law enforcement?
Yes, eventually I would like to go back in law enforcement, pending how the hearing goes today.
Was you in possession of a firearm when you went out drinking with your buddy that night?
No, sir.
Commissioner Wilbur, I'm just curious, you were on the news when it was your friend who committed the criminal actions.
Yes, ma'am.
Why do you think you were on the news?
It was because that I had been there as a witness. And in fact, I had not witnessed an assault or anything at that point.
Any other questions or discussions?
That's all I got, Mr. River.
Thank you. Thanks, sir.
I guess feeling the circumstance, I'm kind of leaning toward no action. So I'll just go ahead and make that motion for no action.
Commissioner Wilbur, second.
We have the motion and a second. No action. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to the matter of the Union County Sheriff's Office, the matter of Sean Hooper. Mr. Hooper was submitted for decertification based on a post-investigation finding. Our post-investigator would like to step to the lectern, identify herself, and fill us in on this matter.
Morning, Investigator Cantrell. So this investigation started when Detective King, the GDI for Union County, called post and reported about an incident with an employee where he thought he might need a waiver. And the question had came up because on his application, he originally started in corrections with the sheriff's office. And before he went to patrol, they had him fill out another application. And on both of the applications, he had marked that he did not have prior military service. And it came out during the process of him trying to get on with another agency later, when the chief of that other agency told him that they do polygraph tests for their pre-employment. and he needed to be honest about everything. It eventually came out that he has a DD 214. And so the chief paused the process until he could get a copy of it. And that's when we got the call from the GDI at the sheriff's office. During the investigation, I went to the Union County Sheriff's Office and sat down with Mr. Hooper and Detective King. During the interview, it was explained to us that he had enlisted in the Marine Corps, and it was during COVID, and they were having all the recruits quarantined for 2 weeks prior to going to Paris Island. And Mr. Hooper told us that during that quarantine period, he decided he did not want to do that anymore. And so when he got to Paris Island, he told them that, and they put him in a, I believe said it was a discharge platoon until he could get processed out. During that time, he did his paperwork when he first got there, all the initial paperwork you do when you first get to boot camp, and was paid while he was there. So therefore, he technically served, even though he didn't get to start training. And so that's where the DD 214 comes into play, because since he was technically a part of the Marine Corps, even for that short period of time, he was issued a DD 214 for that time. And so Detective King and the sheriff both thought that that brought up an issue of dishonesty. And during the interview that I had with Mr. Hooper and Detective King, at one point he became borderline confrontational with Detective King because he was over there taking notes during the interview. And he had decided that he didn't want to answer any more questions because we did not read Miranda to him, even though Miranda did not pertain to this situation. And so we just kind of ended it shortly thereafter. But he did admit that he has a DD 214. I was able to get a copy of it. And so I guess it more or less substantiated the question on dishonesty.
Commissioner Wilbur, so from the beginning, he knew he had a DD 214.
Correct.
And there is a place on the intake form to say, have you ever been in the military? I think he said somewhere there was not a space on the form. Is there a space?
He did. There was a back and forth between him and Detective King after I left the sheriff's office that Detective King had informed me about later, where he said that he did not mark on the application because there wasn't a spot. And the sheriff told Detective King, just give him a copy of his application and he can see it. And I've got a copy of that application, and it clearly states the question of, have you previously served in the military? And he checked no.
And just so I get this correct, he only admitted he had a DD 214 when he was about to undergo a polygraph?
Correct.
Commissioner Green, his separation level was,
I don't remember what his code was off the top of my head.
Right.
Okay.
Over here. Is Union County, your department here, represent?
They are not.
This was a matter that came before the post commission.
It was before the
earlier
full
this year
commission.
As a court of investigation. The post commission during the regular reports of the meeting decided to move this to an informal disciplinary review.
So, Mr. Wright, can you tell me when he first got his post certification?
His certification was issued June this year.
Does show work from officer does.
You want to know academy graduated from?
Academy.
Yep. Sorry, this was labeled funny. He graduated from Toledo.
Was he working for Union County at the time he went to the academy?
Yes.
So this was called after the fact, or he went to the academy?
Correct. Yeah, according to the investigator, it was caught when he was looking to move to another agency.
Commissioner Wilbur, investigator, did he show attitude with you, or was it just he showed attitude with Detective King?
I think it was more directed towards Detective King because he saw him over there writing down notes, and he had asked if he was being criminally charged because he stated he knows how this works. He was never read Miranda. And like I said, Miranda just didn't apply here.
Like you're from Mr. Hooper now, see what he has.
Mr. Hooper, if you would approach the lectern and just identify yourself for the record, please.
Sean Hooper.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Hooper, Commissioner Jefferson, can you just go ahead and kind of give us a rundown your side of the story on what transpired here?
Yeah, so during the whole interview process with Mr. Cantrell and my GDI, there was no confrontation, so I don't know exactly where that came from. But I just simply did not feel like the month that I didn't even go to boot camp. So I just went to the quarantine. I didn't feel like that was any service counted towards, actual service. So I just didn't write it down. And then when I was applying for Jefferson City Police Department, I put it down from the RIT. And because I knew that their background thing was a little bit more extensive than Union County's. So I put it down on there just so whenever the polygraph did happen, it didn't come back and look at them,
This is Commissioner Wright. So Union County put you through to Toledo. You graduated Toledo in June 25. You was applying for Jefferson City Police Department very shortly after getting out of the academy. They paid you to go through. Did you not put it on the Union County because you was embarrassed about the amount of time that you had there and just thought, well, maybe it just won't come up? Or
No, sir.
did it ever cross your mind to say, hey, I don't know if this matters or not, but I was there for a couple of weeks just in case it does?
Sir, I was completely.
Commissioner Wright, I'm gonna make the motion to decertify.
Get the motion.
Maybe a little early, get some more discussion.
Commissioner Wilbur, I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries. Mr. Hooper, if you would just step outside, Mr. Creed, and he'll explain to you next steps. Move along to the matter of White County Sheriff's Office, matter Hayden Bilbrey. Mr. Bilbrey was submitted for decertification based on his termination. Yeah, Representative White County, if to step to the lectern, sir, and just identify yourself for the record.
Good morning. Richard Lynch with the White County Sheriff's Office.
You can go ahead, just, yes, sir, go ahead.
On August the 26th, there was contact made with one of our officers by a kind of complicated, a third party of the victim's mother. She wanted to speak with a representative from the sheriff's office concerning some events that had previously taken place. So on the 28th of August, we met at the victim's residence with her parents. She conveyed some concerns about Mr. Hayden Bilbrey's interactions with her related to a traffic stop where Mr. Bilbrey had stopped her on, I believe it was May the 4th of 2025 on Old Kentucky Road. During that traffic stop, Mr. Bilbrey had used her information that he had run through the criminal justice system, NCIC, and all of that. He took that information and then looked her up on social media and subsequently contacted her. There was some conversation in those messages that he didn't want to come out and ask her out on the traffic stop because he knew that would have been an issue. During that traffic stop, the car camera comes on prior to the traffic stop taking place. They pulled in to a place we call the Crossroads. There's a little store there. The patrol car is pulled in a manner that the camera captures everything from about the middle of the car to the passenger side, but does not capture the interaction between Mr. Bilbrey and a complainant. Also, during this period of time, Mr. Bilbrey's body camera doesn't come on until several minutes into the traffic stop, where he's writing out a warning citation. I believe it was for a light violation. And it's on momentarily, but you can hear the dispatcher coming back, giving the victim's status of having her driver's license transferred from California to Tennessee. After reviewing the body camera footage, it was clear that the body camera was being manipulated during the traffic stop in a way that should not have happened. It should have come on, remained on, and not had any issues. So there was some attempt to mess with that body camera. Moving on, later that evening, the victim goes home and realizes that Mr. Bilbrey has contacted her and followed her on social media. There was some interaction between the two of them, again, him stating that he didn't want to come out and ask her during the traffic stop to go out on a date. They ended up, the victim was having a party in Kugel the next day, and Mr. Bilbrey came up to that party with another male that Mr. Bilbrey didn't disclose at the beginning, who was also an employee at the sheriff's office in the corrections division. It was alleged that they were intoxicated when they arrived. During my interview with Mr. Bilbrey, he described his his level of intoxication as an 8 or a 9 out of 10 while he was there. They had a party that went on for several hours, but during this party, they had went out. All 4 of the 5 people went out and purchased more alcohol. All of these people were underage. They came back, clearly an issue. During the initial visit with the complainant, the victim and complainant, her husband, there were allegations of assaults that are being investigated by the District Attorney General's office. I can't tell you what the status of that portion of all of this is. There was an order of protection that was taken out that I served on Mr. Bilberry. It's my understanding that that order of protection was appealed and dismissed. I don't know if it was just outright dismissed or dismissed with a finding. I just know that it was dismissed. During the interview that I conducted a couple of interviews with Mr. Bilberry. He was deceptive in his answers, was untruthful, did not answer the questions truthfully and entirely concerning the events that had occurred. I talked to him. I brought him back in, and then he finally, after being confronted, agreed to some things, but not other things. At the end of all of it, for the policy violations, he was terminated.
Any questions for the agency?
Commissioner Wilbur, there's a lot in here. A lot of dishonesty. Would
Yes,
that
ma'am.
be, fair? Is there something about choking the victim in here?
There was an allegation of that, and that's part of that criminal aspect that's being handled by the district attorney's office. I could tell you that Mr. Bilberry denied any of that, but the allegation was made by the victim. Yes, ma'am.
Is this still an ongoing case, Mr. Jefferson? Is this still an ongoing case or criminal charges pending in this matter?
I can't speak for the district attorney's office, but I know that the matter is still open and moving forward.
There's no other questions or discussion regarding the agency. We'll have Mr. Wilbur come up. Thank you, mate. Morning, gentlemen. If you just would step to the lectern and identify yourself for the record, please.
Hayden Bilberry. Good morning. My name is Mike Stooksbury. I'm Mr. Bilberry's counsel.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Salisbury, I think you were in here earlier when I advised the other witnesses rights. Your client does not have to speak today. There's an ongoing investigation. Certainly welcome to request from the commission the opportunity to enter a pending litigation hold, which would effectively be an indefinite suspension until the conclusion of the criminal matter, and then we would restart the informal hearing process at that time. But it's kind of up to you guys how you'd like to proceed. I would ask the commission to resolve.
Certainly. Do you mind giving me just a few minutes to talk about that? Thank you. Thank you. We've decided we're just gonna wait.
So the commission will have to vote on that. So your client's willing to enter an indefinite suspension pending the outcome of the criminal investigation.
Yes, ma'am, that's correct.
Make a motion to accept.
Hoover, second.
We have a motion and second. We can continue this matter to next month pending receiving the signed pre-order. And we'll get with you and give you that contact information, get that taken care of. In the event that we receive that before the next meeting, we'll make sure that that's taken off the agenda and gets taken care of. Thank you. Motion and a second, all in favor? Any opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you.
That will conclude our matters for this morning's formal hearing. Thank you so much.